Okay, reading groups 3 and 4. This is going to be a really quick review of our layer cake words that we've been looking at. This is, remember, when letter C has to stand next to bully E. Bully E likes to hiss at him because he knows letter C is afraid of snakes. So letter A came up with a great plan for letter C to put on a snake costume also and hiss right back at him. So whenever we have a layer cake word with curly E at the end, there's that bully E at the end, letter C, when he has to stand next to him, will hiss like a snake. So instead of this word being fake, it is actually the word face, like you have a face. Okay, so that was our quick review. Let's look at this little sentence right here in this silly picture. This is a picture of a girl, and she is wearing a cape, and on her cape there is some lace. And remember, we talked about what lace was yesterday, or in our last lesson. Lace on a cape is what the sentence says at the bottom. Okay, let's just practice reading some words really quick, and then this will be the end of our review, and we can get into some new material. All right, here's the word face again. Look at this word. Is this letter C going to make the k, k, k sound, or is he going to hiss like a snake? This does have bully E, but bully E has to be right next to the letter C, and he's not. He's way down here. So this one is going to make his normal k, k sound. So this is the word cake. And remember, the E is silent. Cake. All right, how about this one? What sound is letter C going to make? K, k. And the word is, that's right, coat. Okay, let's look at this one. All right, what sound is letter C going to make in this one? Look who he's standing next to. Okay, let's try it. L, A, S, L, A, S, lace. Remember, bully E makes no noise at all. Lace. Okay, that's our review. We're going to be taking a look at some lazy A words. Lazy A. In this word, the letter A should make his sound, which is his name, and it looks like a peanut butter and jelly word, where the A does the talking and the I is silent. So this looks like it should be the word said. Said. But this is not how we pronounce this word, is it? We don't say, I said to please sit down. No, that's not right. Instead, it's the word said. So this letter A has gotten lazy over the time, and instead of making his sound the way he should, he makes the lazy A sound. So instead of said, it's said. We have another lazy A word. This time, it's a layer cake word. So we have our curly fluffy frosting on the E, and there's a letter between the A and the E, so there's our plate. A plate E is the vowel pattern, but this letter A doesn't make the sound like he should. He's being lazy, and instead he's making a different sound. This looks like it should be have, have, but it's not have, is it? This is the word have, have. I have done it already. I have 2 dogs. Have. Okay, so these are our 2 lazy A words that we're going to be having in our reading practice. So said and have. Okay, now let's take a look at layer cake words with an S on the end. Okay, what is this word? Remember, E is silent. The word is cake. This is one cake, but if I want more than one cake, what do I need to put at the end of my word to make a bunch of cakes? I need to put an S at the end, cakes. Now, here's a rule that we need to learn that we have not learned yet. If I take a layer cake word that ends with the sound on the plate, I need to read it a little bit differently. So let's look at this word. All right, there's my sound at the end of the word, because when letter C stands next to bullet E, he hisses. So this is the word race, race. Now, this is one race, but if I want to enter a bunch of them, I need to make it S on the end. Now, how do I need to read this? Instead of reading it like cakes, I have to add an extra syllable to the word, or an extra beat. This one is one beat, cakes, cakes, one beat. But to add more than one race, it needs to be races, races. And that's simply because the word ends with the sound already. And if we're adding another sound to the end, we have we have two sounds at the end of this word. So it needs two beats, one for each sound. So races, 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 two beats. Let's look at another one like that. Okay, what is this word? Vase. This is one vase to put flowers in. But what if I have a bunch of them? I have to put the S on the end. Now, because I have two sounds, I've got to have two beats, one for each. So this is going to be the word vases, vases. Okay. I'm going to give you some worksheets to look at and some reading pages. Let's take a look at the first worksheet. This is page 10, and I'm going to send pictures of all of these onto Class Dojo in case you do not have this page in the packet that we took to your house. Okay, so in this one, you're going to read the sentence, and then you're going to circle yes, it is possible, it could happen, or no, that would never happen. Okay, so yes if it could happen, or no if it could not happen. So read the sentence and use your best judgment to know whether to circle yes or no. Okay, then we're going to look at page 11. This is page 11. We have pictures of layer cakes and peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. Your job is to take the words that are at the top and decide, is this a peanut butter and jelly word or is it a layer cake word? Remember, layer cake words have curly, fluffy frosting on the end, and peanut butter and jelly words have both vowels together in the middle of the word. So this first word is the word moan. It would be helpful if you would underline your vowels, because then you can see if they are together in the middle of the word like this one, or if they are separated by a layer of cake like this one. So this one, our vowels are together in the middle of the word. That's like a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. So our vowels are going to go on a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. So the O is the crunchy peanut butter that does the talking, and the A is the silent jelly that doesn't make any noise. The word is moan. The A doesn't make any noise. So O and A go together, and then our and our would be at the ends on the outside. There are red letters. All right, let's look at this one. Our vowels are separated. They're not standing next to each other, and it ends with curly, fluffy, frosting E. So that makes it a layer cake word. So we find a layer cake. And the A is the crunchy filling that does the talking, and the E is always on the frosting, which means the F and the C are our cake letters, F and C. All right, so you're just going to check them off as you do them so that you don't get confused as to which ones you have done and which ones you haven't done, and you're going to fill in this page 11. The last worksheet that I want you to look at is I want you to practice reading these layer cake words that have the sound at the end of them. So you're going to read the word out loud. Cape, cape. Does that mean one cape or does that mean more than one? This does not have an S on the end, so that's one cape. So they put the word cape underneath one. Reading this one, rake, rakes. Do I need to go rakes? No, only if this is the sound. Does it need two beats? So rakes, rakes. Is that one or is that more than one? That's more than one. So they put it underneath this side. So you're going to take these words and decide, does it mean one or does it mean more than one, and fill in the rest of this page. All right, that's it for the worksheets. Now for your reading pages, we're going to be reading the sentences on page 9. And these sentences are wacky, which means they are crazy, crazy. These would be fun sentences to draw a picture of. Okay, then I would like for you to read the story. It's actually a poem. And so it's a poem and it's on page 10. And it's continued on page 11. Okay, so page 11, 10 and 11 is your poem. Now, let's just have a really quick poem lesson, shall we? Because we need to learn about poems. Poems are not written in paragraphs. They're written in stanzas. So this right here, all of these sentences go together just like they would as if it was a paragraph, but instead of calling it a paragraph, it's actually called a stanza. Okay, a group of sentences that go together to give across meaning together are called a stanza, not a paragraph. It's a paragraph if it was a story, but when it is I'm going to show you an example. We read this one the other day. This was Cake by the Lake. Remember this story, Cake by the Lake. You'll see the different paragraphs, right? When it's a normal story, these groups of sentences that go together are called a paragraph. But when it is a poem, the groups of sentences that go together are actually called a stanza. Now, each one of these sentences inside the stanza are called lines. And if it was the STAR test, they would be numbered like this. This would be line 1. Then they would count 2, 3, 4, and they would give you 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and they would give you 10. They're not going to number every line. Just know that this is line 5. So that means this would be line 6. This would be line 7, line 8, line 9, and line 10. This would be stanza 1, stanza 2, stanza 3, stanza 4, stanza 5, and stanza 6. There are 6 stanzas in this poem, and you could count all of the lines and see how many lines there are in this poem. All right, I want you to read Jake and Jane Make Up a Tale and draw me a picture of what happens in this stanza. Okay, that's it for your lesson. We'll see you next time. Stay safe.